humidity and clouds is the chapter number 3 of geography, in which we have studied last time that is what how the climate changes from morning, afternoon, evening, then afterwards geographically, area wise how the climate changes, that also we have studied in the desert area, in the Himalayan area, on the seashore, okay, that is on the here plains, sea plains, all these things we have studied, that coastal plains, how the temperature also changes, and why the temperature changes, how the wind also changes, everything changes at the different places, means geographically as well as when the temperature it goes on changing, the weather goes on changing at the different places at different seasons, okay, from morning to morning there is different temperature, in the afternoon there is different temperature, in the evening there is different temperature, that we always see, and also we also feel those different changes in the atmosphere. Why it takes place? First reason is evaporation. The evaporation takes place in on the surface of the earth. Our first point is, what is evaporation? Okay, you have studied this evaporation in from the previous classes. In the previous classes, what is the meaning of evaporation? You have studied. Just we are going to again revise it. When we heat the water, okay, when we heat the water, at the specific point, the water turns into water vapors, and water vapors goes in the sky, that is in the air. They are spread in the air. You may have observed this at home. Anything when it is cooked, okay, even milk when it is cooked, okay, then after heating it turns into your vapors. Water also turns into vapors, it spreads in the air. This process of converting water into steam, pay attention, process of converting water into steam or water vapors is called as evaporation. So first definition is, what is evaporation? बाष्पीभवन ज्याला म्हणतो मराठीमध्ये, बाष्प, okay, that is process of converting water into water vapors is called as evaporation. एंजल सीट प्रॉपरली, आळस आला का सुरुवातीलाच, शाळेत करतो ते घरात पण करतो, ओके. नाउ on the earth surface there are different water bodies. You have studied which are the water bodies. Sea or ocean is the largest water body. Earth, nearly 71% of the water is covered with the here this water body, that is oceans. Beside this there are freshwater bodies, lakes, rivers, dams, okay, water reservoirs, various other things, or all other things are water bodies, okay. Beside this, here these are the water bodies when they are heated because of the sun, the at specific temperature the water is changed into vapors or steams and it get mixed into the air, okay. This process of heating the water here water bodies and getting it converted into water vapors is called as evaporation. Now evaporation at specific places is more, at some places it is less, okay. Everywhere the evaporation is not same, because evaporation which takes place in the dry area or in the continental area or in the mountainous area is different. Why it is different? Many reasons are there. First, here how much distance it is from the sea coast, that is very important. That is the place from which the evaporation takes place, from the sea level, at what height it is, then at what distance it is. Two things. distance, height, as well as here flat distance, far away, how much far away it is from the sea coast. That is one reason. Second, here it depends on the here land surface which is present, means where it, in which zone of the near the equator, or it is near on the tropic of Cancer, tropic of Capricorn, in different belt, which belt it is, or at the here we can say on the north pole or south pole, where it is, according to that the temperature goes on increasing and decreasing, and as the temperature goes on increasing and decreasing at different places, the evaporation also goes on decreasing and increasing. So we should know there are so many reasons responsible for this. Here it depends on the dryness and temperature and the speed of the wind. Three things are there: dryness, temperature of the place, and speed of the wind at that place. So two, three things are very important. Last time I told you that if the air is hot and dry, the evaporation is more. Rate of evaporation increases. Hot and dry. Means dry means what? In the air, the vapors are very less, or there is no water vapors in the air, then it is called as a dry air. If the area is hot and dry, the evaporation goes on increasing. Very speedily the evaporation takes place. Then the process of evaporation continues even in the dry and cold area also. If it is dry and cold, area is cold, but air is dry. In that also evaporation is more, but compared to the first, it is the little bit less. And here, evaporation is very low in the moist air. Already, suppose there is a water vapors present in the air, then the evaporation, new evaporation takes place. Now, beside this, other things which are responsible, that velocity of the wind in that area. If the wind is more, then also the evaporation increases because wind carries the water vapors from that area. Then, if the wind is blowing slowly and the air is cooler, the evaporation is slow. Wind is little bit speedy, then evaporation is more. So this is about the evaporation. So you read the lesson, you will find these points now. You may have observed this. You are living on the coastal area. You know what is meaning of evaporation, other things. Okay. Now you will see humidity. Okay. Here, what is humidity? Humidity is actually proportion of water vapors in the air. Adrata. Evaporation means to water to change into convert into water vapors. But the presence of water vapors in the air is called as humidity. Now, the dryness and dampness of the air depends on the proportion of water vapors. Now, when we can draw water is dry, when there is no moisture in the air, when we call it air is a dry, when there is no moisture in the air, then we call it as a dry air. And when there is a moisture present in the air, then that air is called as damp air. Okay, it is called as damp air or moist air. So dampness or dryness totally depends on the here presence of humidity in the air. Now keep this in mind. Air at has got a capacity to hold the, we can say, water vapors in it. Here each air has got a capacity. How much water vapors will remain in that? It has got a capacity. For example, if water, there is capacity of water to fill in the glass. At certain stage, the water drop will fall outside, you know it. But the last stage, how much the water will remain? If you take a liter jar, then 1 liter water will be present there. Even after 1000 millimeter, even there is 1 millimeter that will that what 1 milli of water will drop outside. You understand here? In this way, air also has got some capacity to hold the water vapors inside. समजा whole world is one jar. Okay, सगळं जग किंवा आपला एरिया समजा we are living in the Konkan area, that air is just like a jar, we can say. As the temperature increases and decreases, the capacity of holding the moisture goes on increasing and decreasing. Okay, keep this in mind. At certain stage, whatever moisture which is present inside, that will change into precipitations. It will become heavy and it will change into precipitations. Okay, so before it changes into precipitations, whatever capacity of air to hold the moisture is called as moisture holding capacity. म्हणजे आता त्या proportion of water vapors in the air is called as humidity, and the capacity to hold the moisture in the air is called as moisture holding capacity. Now, as the temperature increases, the holding moisture capacity increases. लक्षात ठेवा, तापमान वाढलं की त्यात मॉइश्चर करून घ्यायची कॅपॅसिटी वाढते, कारण एअर स्टीम आत राहते. ओके, as the temperature decreases, cools down, the whole water holding capacity decreases. Okay, so air can hold moisture in specific quantity at specific temperature only. As air cools down, its moisture holding capacity reduces. This implies that warmer air can hold more moisture and cooler air will hold less moisture. Okay, at certain temperature, the moisture holding capacity of air becomes equal to the proportion of moisture present. आता काय होतं, एक आता मगाशी सांगितल्याप्रमाणे जेवढी कॅपॅसिटी असते तेवढं ते एक सर्टन टेम्परेचर पर्यंत काय करतं, मॉइश्चर घेतं. ओके, समजा कोकण एरिया मधली मॉइश्चर कॅपॅसिटी समजा थोडी, समजा एक मॉइश्चर होल्डिंग कॅपॅसिटी 30 पर्यंत असेल. ओके, कारण तिथं हॉट आहे मॉइश्चर. ओके, तर 30 ती काय आहे, मॉइश्चर होल्डिंग कॅपॅसिटी ऑफ दॅट एअर अँड मॉइश्चर प्रेझेंट इज इक्वल. when it is equal, then it is called as saturation of that air. ज्यावेळी ते ठराविक, आता त्याच्या पुढे जर मॉइश्चर आणि परत आलं त्यात, तर काय होणार, दॅट मॉइश्चर, दॅट एअर विल कूल डाऊन अँड देन आफ्टर दॅट मॉइश्चर विल टर्न इनटू अदर प्रेसिपिटेशन. ओके, कुठल्या तरी वेगळ्या फॉर्म मध्ये ते बाहेर पडणार. मग ते फॉग मध्ये असेल, तुम्हाला सांगितलं मॉइश्चर व्हॉट आर द प्रेसिपिटेशन, फॉग, ड्यू ड्रॉप्स, रेन, these are the precipitations. या कुठल्याही फॉर्म मध्ये ते मॉइश्चर बाहेर येणार. ओके, so before that moisture comes out, the capacity which when it is equal, keep in this mind, a certain temperature, at a certain temperature the moisture holding capacity of the air becomes equal to the proportion of the moisture present in it. त्याची capacity आणि moisture ज्यावेळी equal होतं, then this condition is called as saturation of the air. So the third is very important point in this, saturation of the air. So फॉर एक्झाम्पल लक्षात ठेवा, तुम्ही एखादा जर स्पंज घेतला, तर स्पंज तो पाण्यात बुडवा. स्पंज माहित आहे ना सगळ्यांना, ऑल ऑफ यू नो व्हॉट इज मिनिंग ऑफ स्पंज. ओके, यू पुट fill it in the water. What will happen when we remove it up? Okay, at certain amount of water will drop outside. त्यातलं थोडं पाणी बाहेर जाईल आणि त्या स्पंजामध्ये ठराविक पाणी आत अडकून राहील. It will remain inside. Why? because that sponge is having the capacity of holding the water that is remained inside. Now that is called as saturation. Understood here? If we press, the water will come out. Do you understand here? Again, if we'll drip it, again more water will be held. The holding capacity of that sponge is called as the water holding capacity of that sponge. Like that, air also holds the moisture because your vapors are in the gas stage. Air is also a gas stage. Air takes some gas inside. At certain amount, it has a holding capacity. Afterwards, it is not able to hold. त्याचं वजन पेलण्याची क्षमता कमी होते. Okay, that certain amount at which it holds is called as saturation of the air. Understood this point? समजलं का? All of you understood this? What is saturation of the air? Okay. Now, next we will see that is your geographical explanation of this. In your book, it is explained by giving some examples. I will read this, what is given in the book. Wait a minute. Hello. See a geographical explanation of this. What is the geographical explanation? See, let's suppose that the air is like the piece of sponge. The same. Air is just like a piece of sponge. How many spoons of water does the sponge absorb? After the sponge is full of water, drops of water starts trickling out. One can tell the number of spoons of water required to make the water trickle down the sponge by observation. You can understand. तुम्ही एक किती पाणी ते होल्ड करू शकता तेवढं पाणी तुम्ही बाजूला काढलात आणि त्याने स्पून न मोजला तर कळाल की किती स्पून पाणी हे स्पंज कॅप्चर करू शकतं. ओके. One can tell the number of spoons of water required to make the water trickle down the sponge by observation. This implies that the water holding capacity of the sponge is fulfilled. I have explained this to you. This makes it saturated. Similarly, when the proportion of the moisture in the air exceeds its vapor holding capacity, precipitation in the form of rain or snow occurs on the earth. Precipitation म्हणजे सांगितलं मी तुम्हाला. असंच ज्यावेळी the proportion of the moisture in the air here exceeds means increases. When the proportion of the moisture in the air increases its vapor holding capacity, here precipitation in the form, precipitation means water forms. कुठले कुठले precipitation form आपल्याला ऑब्झर्व होतात? Especially raindrops. The moisture turn into raindrops and come down. Moisture turns into snow and comes down. So here, this we can see. The moisture holding capacity of the air depends on its temperature. Higher the temperature, higher is the holding capacity. Hey, proportion equation लक्षात ठेवा. This can be asked. Higher the holding temperature, higher its holding capacity. Higher the temperature in the air, higher its holding capacity. This is the equation. Okay. We have learned earlier that we go higher in the sky, the air becomes cooler. आता जसं वरती जाल तसं एअर कूल होते आणि म्हणजे वरती जाल तसं त्याची मॉइश्चर कॅपॅसिटी काय होणार? होल्डिंग कॅपॅसिटी कमी होणार. And when holding capacity of the moisture becomes less, it turns into precipitation and comes down. म्हणून मॉइश्चर हे वरती जातं जात 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 वरती गेल्यानंतर that moisture turns into here cold here precipitation and it comes down in the form of rain. So rain is formed because of this. Okay. So as per this rule, as we go high, the vapor holding capacity of the air will decrease. The following table will make it clear. You should know first that humidity of the air is measured in the forms of per cubic meter. आता density तुम्ही काय वापरली? Per cubic centimeter. In the last lesson we have studied the density us interior मध्ये. We have studied per cubic centimeter and humidity is measured in per cubic meter. म्हणजे एका मीटरच्या एअर क्युबिक मीटर म्हणजे 1 मीटरचा बॉक्स आपण घेतला. 1 मीटर लांबी रुंदी and 1 meter height, that is length breadth and height is 1 meter, then it is called as 1 cubic meter. In that how much air is present, okay, that how much moisture is present in that 1 cubic meter, on that it is here measured. Okay, so humidity is measured in 1 cubic meter and density of the here earth surface is measured in 1 cubic centimeter. हे दोन्ही फरक लक्षात ठेवा. 1 cubic centimeter and 1 cubic meter. Whenever the questions are asked, you should know to tell this proper here what centimeter or meter or all this whatever these are there. Okay. Then when the humidity in the air is 0 gram per cubic centimeter, what will be then? 0 gram per cubic centimeter. What will be that? Humidity is 0 means what? The air is dry. Understand here? When there is no moisture in the air, then it is called as dry air. Here, if the humidity in the air is 30 degrees Celsius, here, if the humidity in the air at if the humidity in the air at 30 degrees Celsius is 37 gram per cubic centimeter. आता हे इक्वेशन आहे. 30 डिग्रीचं टेम्परेचर आपल्या इकडे साधारणतः 24-26 टेम्परेचर चालू असतं मॉर्निंगला, आफ्टरनूनला 28-29 पर्यंत, तर काही वेळा 30-32-33 पर्यंत जातं. ओके, ऍव्हरेज टेम्परेचर केलं झालंय 30 धरा. ऍट द ऍव्हरेज टेम्परेचर ऑफ 30 डिग्री सेल्सिअस when the humidity is 37 gram per cubic centimeter, then it is supposed to be the saturated here, then it is called as saturated air. आता टेम्परेचर जर वाढलं तर त्याची कॅपॅसिटी काय होणार? 37 पेक्षा जास्त जाणार. हे इक्वेशन आहे. 30 डिग्री सेल्सिअसला साधारणपणे 37 ग्रॅम पर क्युबिक सेंटीमीटर इज द ह्युमिडिटी. and when it is, that is capacity of the air, त्याच्यापेक्षा 30 डिग्रीला 38-39 झालं तर पाऊस पडायला सुरू होतो. Okay, so this is the equation again we should know. At 30 degrees Celsius temperature, the here humidity is 37 gram per cubic centimeter. Now we know that here we will see the saturation. आता हे प्रत्येक जनरल सॅच्युरेशन दिलं 30 डिग्रीचं, पण आपण प्रत्येक वेगवेगळ्या कॅपॅसिटी मध्ये किती सॅच्युरेशन होल्डिंग कॅपॅसिटी असते बघा. Here the vapor holding capacity of 1 cubic meter of air in various temperature is given. आता वेगवेगळ्या टेम्परेचरला काय आहे बघा. For example, suppose the temperature is here -5. Temperature is -5. Okay, the vapor holding capacity is 3.26 gram per cubic centimeter. हे इक्वेशन आहे, पाठच करावे लागेल हा टेबल. when the temperature is -5. काही ठिकाणी -5, you know that. Okay, -5 means temperature at that on the ground there is a saturation of the, we can say, snow. Okay, or okay, at that time, here the vapor holding capacity in the air is 3.26 gram per cubic centimeter, sorry, per cubic meter. Okay, then if it is 0 degree, when temperature is 0, at that time the vapor holding capacity is here 4.85 gram per cubic meter. Okay, do you understand here? Now in that chart again difference is given. पहिल्या ह्याच्यात आणि ह्याच्यात difference किती आहे तुम्ही minus करून करायचं. Then when the temperature is 5 degrees Celsius, at that time vapor holding capacity is 6.80 gram per cubic meter. म्हणजे एका मीटर मध्ये 6 ग्रॅम किंवा 7 ग्रॅम आपल्याला मॉइश्चर असणार. Then if it is 10, 9.40 ग्रॅम होल्डिंग कॅपॅसिटी. त्याच्या पुढे गेलं की रेन ड्रॉप सुरू झाले. Then 15 degree, 12.83 gram. At 20 degree, it is 17.30 gram. This is the saturation. Okay, this is the air saturation capacity. At 30 degree, it is तुम्हाला मगाशी दिलं 30.37 gram per cubic meter. हे आयडियल धरलं जातं. When it is temperature goes on 50, then moisture capacity is 51.12 gram per cubic centimeter. Now in this way, the temperature increases, the capacity of holding moisture increases. याच्यावरनं कळालं असेल तुम्हाला. टेम्परेचर जसं वाढत गेलं तसं होल्डिंग कॅपॅसिटी or the saturation air saturated capacity goes on increasing. Now we'll see what is absolute humidity. After that, next part is what is absolute humidity. Okay, I will not start that point. I will give you homework. Okay, write down the definition of, write down quick, 4 minutes are there, quick. What is evaporation? Define. What is evaporation? Second, what is humidity? What is humidity? Third, explain moisture holding capacity. Moisture holding capacity. And in the same question, explain moisture holding capacity and saturation of the air. Saturation. Saturation. All of you are not writing. Angel, I am watching you. Hello. Hello. Only one of you, others are not joining. Okay, write down this homework here. That complete. I will complete that question. Explain what is moisture holding capacity and saturation of the air. Okay, others will not join now. Let it be now. Okay, complete this. Answer these questions. Okay, enough.